So guess what? So this morning the time we're recording this, the same morning we released the last episode, last recording, which we're talking about the matrix, program, government, shadow government, and whatnot, right? So now we're trying to record this at this moment. Our internet Wi-Fi is shut down. So I'm using I know, right? So I'm using my phone as the personal hotspot. So I don't know. Hopefully this one.
Okay.
So hopefully this one will be recorded with no problem.
So do you think they know or someone knows about your recordings in advance?
Well, here's the thing. We all know our phone, our laptop, or what all the electric device, even TV, it's somehow somebody is spying on it. I think.
Oh,
I know
right.
so.
They can see
Right,
you, they
and
can hear you, they know where
and
you're
we have
going,
like
the
we
GPS on your
have
phone.
exactly, and we also have a device called Google Series, and we talk to them. So,
And they talk to
yes,
you.
so so I really believe. Well, I want to think as it's just a coincidence, but it's too coincident, don't you think so?
So what other
Hmm.
what other instances have happened that made you think like that, or it?
See
happening?
now, see, we were just speaking as we speaking just now. My screen pop up. Your internet connection is bad. See?
Oh.
Whoa! I'm
Okay.
sweating. I'm hot now.
So that could be a type of it is a type of control, right?
Yeah, we're in this. Like we were talking about last episode, we are going opposite direction. We're not following the rules. We're not following the program. We are trying to get out of the matrix. So,
And the matrix
okay,
is the program that you have to follow, right?
they want you to follow. Yes.
They want you to follow.
Right. So let's since this episode will be released in January of 2024, the first episode. And as we all know, it's going to be election years, and it's going to be crazy. So since we're in that year, we're going to talk about a little bit about presidency. Okay, let's start with if we're going to start with presidency. I'm sorry, damn it. Okay, see a lot of disruption. You see now, don't want me to talk about it.
Right.
Okay, so we can. I don't know. I watched the new Netflix movie called "Leaving the World Behind." I don't know if you saw it. I didn't. And first I saw
you
it.
said that's the new Netflix movie?
Yeah, by the time this one released, probably already almost a month old. But I wanted to say it related to Christmas. Start from that point.
Oh, you're being very choppy.
See, I told you.
Yes.
Oh,
Someone does not want you to do a movie review.
I want me to talk about. Yeah. But, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was asking you if you can, if you saw the movie or not.
Yes. Yes, I did. But however, many of us or many people maybe listening to this may not know about it. So can you briefly explain the synopsis of the movie?
Okay, yes. So the movie is quite strange, you know, because it does not have many ups and downs. Now doesn't have many actors, but it's all big, big names, and it's kind of like a mystery, a little bit horror, and but if people know who's the producer and who's behind this movie, then everything will start making sense.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before we go on, how did you come across this movie?
Well, this movie has been recommended on my Netflix for a few days. Okay, and
Gotcha.
I do see Julie Roberts, and I like her acting. Because I saw most of her movie, so I just put it in my list. I didn't thought about anything. I just put it on my list, and
Right.
then as if I go on my life after a couple of days, then Patrick but Davies show um, on his podcast and his team,
Mm.
they were talking about this movie. I said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." So
Ah,
I have to watch on YouTube, and then I found out this movie was produced and was produced by Obama, a former
really?
president, our former president, Barack Obama, not any other Obama, is the president Obama.
Right.
And
Right.
that my radar is phew.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So once I know that, then the next thing I did was watch that movie that same
So
night.
what's the title of the movie again?
It's called Leave the World Behind.
And it's on Netflix.
Yes.
And you mentioned it
And
was a little bit of a terror slash mystery,
mhm,
and because it was produced by former President Obama, there's some
mhm.
messages that you saw or that
Yeah.
maybe others can see as well. What type of
Well,
messages?
okay. Well, first, I don't want to be any bias or anything, but
Okay.
I did watch the podcast of Patrick by David first, and they were
Right.
talking about certain things. So I have a preset already in my mind going to watching this movie. So anyone who's not watching that movie, just want to put it out right now. It's and we're gonna talk about a movie, so there's a spoiler alert going on. So I was spoiler alert from Patrick at David's show. So when I watch the movie, I take what I heard and I pay attention to match what they're saying. You see what I mean? So it might be a little biased there, but I did find out a little bit other pieces of my own. You know. So first the movie is talking about um basically end of America, right? And it's
Oh,
basic,
really?
yes. And in the movie, there's a character who is George. Okay, his name is
Mm,
George, and I can see his character has a lot of resembling to Obama. Okay, and funny
mm.
thing is this actor this actor plays another movie. I forgot the title, but he was actually playing a person who's gay. Okay. All right. So,
Oh,
anyways, yes, that's why I said maybe there's a
okay.
little message there. It might be coincidence, but to me, it's obvious. And then
Mm,
this character, the black character in this leaving the war behind character, his wife is is she disappeared. Okay, nowhere to be found. Okay, and they all think she might be in danger. Okay, And if people who's listening and watching this, if they follow the trends or follow the rumor or the conspiracy, a lot of people think Michelle Obama is transgender. So that's telling you something.
Oh, so there's
So,
multiple messages just with the main character, or the one of
yeah,
the
so
main
I'm
characters.
just getting into a appetize. I'm going into
Oh,
the
you're
main
you're
course.
looking. You're okay. So we're are we just looking at the menu right now?
So that's why. So this
Okay.
is the piece. So this is the
Wow.
piece that PBD podcast didn't mention, but I kind of saw it on my own because of who I am. I can relate. So yeah, so that's one, and then a lot of other things like they were saying. The character, the black character, has a daughter.
Hmm.
Okay, and the daughter is, of course, is a black girl, a black teenager. Okay, and also another YouTube video I saw months ago or last year. uh, they brought a person claimed to be a time traveler. Oh, see, distraction. Claimed to be a time traveler. Okay,
Oh,
and
okay.
then um he predict in his timeline, looking back, um after okay, two Trumps, two terms for Trumps, which is 2016 and 2020 supposedly, and then he was trying to get on a third term, but they got rid of him. Okay, this got rid of him. We can go to different branches again. So first is the time traveler saying they got rid of Trump and someone who's named Michael McIntosh will be the president. And the
So you're
president,
saying
he
so
is
you're saying Trump is going to be president again? The
based
time
on
traveler
this
saying President Trump is going to be president again. He's going
try
to win the
try,
election in
try to
2024.
try no try to be a president on the third term. So originally timeline is 2016. He's president. Yes, he got it right in our timeline. Second, 2020, he's supposed to be another term, but in our timeline, it's not. It didn't happen, right? So that
Okay,
time traveler say he will try third term,
which
and
is this time.
they this time, yeah, in the time traveler's
Okay,
timeline. Okay, and but he said in his timeline, Donald Trump they got rid of him. They didn't say how. He didn't say how. He said got rid of him. Okay, so
wow, wow.
from here, the time traveler is saying that. I know that I got, it's a long story, but I'll go quick. So the time traveler in that YouTube video is saying the person who will be elected is his name is Michael McIntosh.
Wow.
Michael McIntosh.
I've
Alrighty.
never heard that name, but that doesn't mean anything.
Me either. Me either. And I Googled it a little bit
Oh, okay.
and I
You
came
did
out,
Google it.
yeah. And of course, there's no name, but I look at the image picture. There's few um, black people named Michael McIntosh.
So if this episode's coming out in January, so everybody Google that name, and maybe perhaps between now and the release date, we'll have more information on him.
Yeah. And you know what I'm thinking personally about this Michael person
Yeah.
and what I just said about the rumor and conspiracy about Michelle Obama?
Oh, Michael and Michelle? Is that what you're saying? Michael equals Michelle or Michelle equals Michael?
That's right. Because there's somewhere, some video even said there's numerous time um, Barack Obama has accidentally called Michelle by Michael.
So it's going to come
Google it.
true.
Google it,
Okay.
and I know, and now I know why uh, the Florida governor just attacking trans community because of that. I think I'll link together now.
So he has an idea that that's coming on. He
I
knows.
think well.
He knows.
Yeah, I really believe you if you watch Avengers, the Hulk, he's the one always doing the damage, right? Smash.
Yeah,
So
Hulk
I think,
smash. Yes.
yes, I think from what I observe, even though we say he's a traitor, Donald Trump is helped him to become a Florida
Mm,
governor, and now he's not, working with him. But it's not true. He is working with Donald Trump. He's doing the smashing for him.
okay.
You see what I mean? So
Okay. All right.
they know Michael related to Michelle, Michelle related to Michael. So DeSantis is doing the smashing work for Donald Trump. And out of the blue, a couple months ago, before Newsom announced he might be running, he's already picking on him. Have you noticed? Right?
Wow.
You get the logic here. So the yeah. So that's what I observe. But back to the movie. Sorry, I got a long story. So from that same time traveler, okay, he also said after that Michael person become the president, the next president, which will be the last president of the United States, is the granddaughter of guess who?
Ooh,
Martin Luther King Jr.
a granddaughter?
Yes,
We can Google her now and
yeah,
find out what's
yeah,
going to happen in 4 or 8 years, right?
yeah, Yolanda. Her
Oh,
name is
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Yes,
Do you know about
and the
her? How old
movie
is
has
she
that.
now?
Yeah, and that movie has that little teenager girl. You see, interesting, huh?
Oh, so Yolanda is the young girl character in the movie.
I think so. Yes,
That's
and you see, and
oh
then that time traveler saying that Yolanda is going to be the last president of the United States. So basically, United States no more after her. And that movie is talking about end of America. See, and then another
so
one.
back to
You
the
ready
movie.
for
Does and I think you mentioned it before, but that movie, the title implies it's the end, right?
leaving the world behind? The world that we know behind.
Okay.
And another one gonna make you jump is the character of that movie leaving the world behind. That black character in the movie, his name is George H. Scott. George H. Scott. GH. In the beginning, he said initial GH.
Yes.
And do you know who's HG?
No.
You mentioned it last episode. HG, who wrote the novel of Time Machine.
Oh, H.G. Wells. Is that who you're saying? And it's
Yeah,
G.H. Oh, wow.
yeah. HGGH. And then you see, and then that character in the leaving the world behind, it's giving you a hint. It's giving us a sign that he even say initial. Who it's rarely people who introduce a character. They just say my name is such such. My name is Shelby. My name is Jesse. They don't say my initial is GH. It's weird, right?
Oh, yes. Correct.
So
Who goes by initials?
yeah, he introduced himself by initial. That's a sign in which that's a sign that I discover myself has nothing. It doesn't. It's not came from PBD podcast.
Now,
Yeah,
now here's a funny thing. I believe was I talking to you or someone else? But perhaps back in October, I was actually thinking of changing my name for two initials to JR.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told me that.
Oh, it was you, right?
Wow.
So it's like, where did that come from?
I know.
Anyway, that's something separate. So let's not talk about that.
It's
Maybe we'll
okay.
talk
No
later.
worries.
So I went ahead and did a little Google on Martin Luther King the third, Yolanda King.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was born in November 17th. Let's see. Oh no, it's a different lady. Hold on a second. Yolanda Denise
She
King. Is that the one that we're talking about, or someone else? Because
Yolanda.
it couldn't be because this person passed away.
No,
So it's
it's
got
a
to be
young
someone
girl.
else. Okay.
Let's say 4 years
Okay.
from
Let's
now,
see here.
she should be around 18, 16.
Okay, so it's younger. Yes. Okay. I do have a picture of a young lady, the only
Uh,
grandchild, Yolanda
yes,
Renee King.
yes, yeah,
And yes, okay, so there you go. Yolanda Renee King. Let's see if
right.
I can go ahead and put that in and find out. She looks like a teenager, just like the same character you mentioned.
Exactly. You
She
see?
looks exactly like her.
Exactly. See? That's the sign.
Oh, wow. They have pictures of her already speaking at functions.
Right.
So she was born
Yes.
in 2008. So that makes her 15 years old.
Yes. And in
Wow.
2000, and guess when is it Obama's term? Look into it.
Wow.
What? Did you
Wow.
look into it?
Wow.
Obama's
No,
term,
no. Say that
presidential
again.
term?
Uh, you want to do
When
his
presidential term.
terms? Okay. Let me look.
You say Yolanda is born in 2008,
Hey, right. Okay. Let's see if I can get
and
the terms up.
Obama's
Oh, there's a
term.
connection there. Yeah, he
Well,
started January 20th, 2009.
yeah,
So he was elected in 2008.
exactly. See?
Wow.
Wow. Uh-huh. So a lot of people, like the last episode we talking about a lot of movies in the 80s or 90s, and now including Matrix, and we looking back from 2023, we connect the dots, right? A lot of dots. But now we're doing this kind of looking for what's coming. We connect the dots beforehand, not afterward. You see what I mean?
So not to do a spoiler alert, but going back to the movie, does it
Mm-hmm.
say how the world
Okay.
ends or
Yeah,
yes.
yes. Okay. So there's a also another sign.
So this was just all the
We
appetizer, right, that you gave us. The appetizer, just the characters. We're not even in the movie yet.
not yet. Now we're going to
Wow.
the now
So
this is
you
second
really did see so you really
a lot
did
of
see
sign.
a lot in the first
Y-
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I okay. The second advertiser sign I saw is um they mentioned about this one is a little bit coming from PBD podcast. It mentioned that about the dialogue. Okay, so this is what I pick up from one of the dialogue. The daughter of the white people. I forgot her name, but her one of her line is talking about religion. Why God will let this happen? Why God will not love us? God's supposed to love us, right? If you remember that
Mm,
line. And
I don't
then
remember, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and then she was telling her mom or her parents about this person is complaining to God once he went up there to the different frequency and then complain to God, how come you don't love us? How come you don't love me? You supposed to love
Oh, I
me.
do remember
Why
that
you
part. I do
why you
remember.
let this let this
Yes.
problem or tragedy happen? And the girl is saying the response to God is, yes, I did. I send you the radio signal, radio episode, or some signs, some messages, right? And you just avoid to look at into it or just avoid to accept it. You see?
I remember that. That was in the another in the beginning of the show. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So this is a sign within the sign, message within the message. So this is telling us this movie is giving you a heads up. Yeah, you see what I mean? And you can believe it or you don't believe it. It's up to you. But that's what you know,
By the
that's
time
what's
it
the head.
happens,
It's
but
too late.
if we don't believe it, and by the time it happens, it'll be too late.
Yes, and people, religious people will say God don't love us, but it's right in front of our eyes in the plain sight. A lot of things is around in our plain sight, but we just either program not to see it, or a lot of people are more arrogant. They don't choose to see it or to believe it, right?
Or
Yes,
maybe there's different religions around the world. Not everybody believes in God, right?
yes, like many
So whether
people.
you believe in God or not, it's going to happen, right?
Yes, like what we were texting the other day, um, and then also we're getting into the main course now. In that movie, there's also from the black character saying we might believe the elite or the rich people are controlling what's going on, what's going to happen, but there's nobody in the pilot seat. That's what
I
you know.
remember that. Yeah.
Yes. So
So there. So do you think maybe that could be an answer to you hear it every day. It's like, okay, they are doing this, they are doing that. And in the movie, he's like, there is no they.
well, mm, how do I? Okay, this is going to be a little bit off branch a little bit, but we'll come back. So
Oh,
because you also text me about Alex Jones, right? So I haven't finished it. It's 3 hours long. It's an old episode from Joe Rogan, and
yeah,
now
it's a 10 years, 10 years old.
again
Oh, you're
from
choppy
that
now.
episode.
You might
So
have to
Alex,
repeat that.
yeah. Oh,
Go ahead. Repeat it. You were
which
choppy.
which part? Oh,
After you mentioned Alex Jones,
what?
you got choppy.
See, they want to stop me. So Alex Jones on that Joe Rogan's 9/11 episode, he is talking a lot about a lot of things, and I just watched it today, this past 2 days. But the episode originally released in 2017, and now watching it back or listening it back, it connects a lot of dots right now in
Mm,
2023. And and what I was saying is in the episode, Alex Jones explained something very bizarre. I have to rewind about 3 times to understand what he was saying.
okay.
First of
Yes.
all, he's saying there's 12 dimensions, okay? And we are in the 3D dimension, which we all know, we accept that. And then he was saying there's other 2 dimension underneath, try to come up to our third, 3D dimension and try to intercept. And then the elite people are not building us as a humanity up to higher frequency, like I always said, higher vibration, but
Hmm.
instead they try to do something to emerge human and AI together to become a cyber. You see?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I understand. After 3 time of listening to Alex Jones and watching, I finally understand what he's talking about. So he was
Okay.
saying because there's 12 dimensions and we are in one of them, and the one below us is trying to come up and you know bad influence or take over the world, if you put
Right.
it that way. So this is not under our control. Back to the movie of that character saying,
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so they are not who we think they are. It's
yes,
somebody from
but
another. Oh,
the
got you.
but the elite, which is like the one that runs the government, the Fed, the uh,
Mm-hmm.
George Soto. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So they they have their own agenda. The powerful people, they want to be immoral. This is a giving. This is a giving since the ancient history that we study. Even including the Chinese, the emperor want to live forever. You see,
Mm,
and then the mummy, why they mummize, how do you call that, preserve the body, right? They
right.
all want to live forever, all those kings. Same thing, even so, the same pattern today, 2023. All those elites or big powerful people, they want to live forever. That's
Yeah,
their end goal. So in
there's
order,
many stories that where people lived for hundreds of years before, right?
yeah, yes. So the context that Alex Jones tried to explain to us is elite is trying to use the technology to achieve that end goal. But at the same time, there's another, I don't know, species or another dimension try to come up
Mm,
to this dimension to disrupt us. But because the elite, which has the power for the humanity, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do to uplift us higher, so those people underneath us won't reach to us. You see what I mean? But
yes, yes.
if our vibration and frequency is lower, we get closer to the one below us, then they will destroy us. So that's what the black character is talking about. No one can be in
Wow.
control.
Okay. And he
And
said
time,
that what
you
just
know,
that one line or one scene, right? He
yes.
mentioned it in that
That's
one
in
scene.
actually
Okay.
that's actually towards the end of the scene when he's telling Ethan Hawke's character is, I want to know if you're with us, with me or with us. Right? See?
Wow. I know there's a saying, if you're not with us, you're against us, right?
Yes.
And that's when he
So
was talking to him. I want to know if you're with us to live, to
right.
survive.
And yeah. So that's why everything, it makes sense now. Vibration, frequency, manifestations. It seems if we put all those pieces together, this is the universe,
Wow.
right?
Okay, so let's go back to the movie.
All right. So
So that's just the are we past the salad now, the entree? Can we go into the main course?
yes. Okay. Here's the
Okay.
main course.
Oh,
So
very good.
let's just also use what Joe Rogan's podcast, the episode 911 with Alex Jones. Alex
Oh,
Jones is also a conspiracy theories for 9/11 as well. Okay. And this we'll go into it later on because we don't want to, go too far. And this is also part of the George W. Bush Jr.'s administrations. So it's related to presidency,
yes.
but
Let's go
since
ahead
we have
and
limited
keep it in the
time,
reference. Let's keep it in the reference of a meal. We have a lot of
yeah,
time, no rush. You can go ahead and eat your food, chew it properly, digest it. We don't have to rush. No one's right.
right.
We're
So
good.
we can
Okay,
continue
so
on.
let's go.
We
Let's
can
let's
continue
eat
on.
slowly.
Continue on. Yeah, we can
Yes.
continue on nine
Okay.
eleven in the future episode.
All right.
So make sure
Gotcha.
you subscribe to our channel, so you get the first notification and
Don't
like
you
the
have a ring?
video.
Don't you have to ring a
Yeah,
bell first? Or, oh,
ring the bell, hit the bell button,
and then hit the
all that
subscribe button right
goodies.
there.
Yeah, and maybe
Okay.
in the
All right.
future episode, we will have exclusive episodes for memberships only.
Okay. And then if anyone's wondering, yes, I am a subscriber, right, as well.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, very good.
Oh, all right, so that's okay. Finish. That's a commercial.
Okay, commercial. Okay.
Anyways, so back to the movie. So 2017, Joe Rogan released that episode. You know, 2020 comes along, election year, right? And then COVID happens, right? And then lockdowns,
Okay.
and then all those
Yes.
craziness, vaccines, and then
Yes.
and then all those looters, all protests.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So in that
The
movie,
smash and
this
grabs. Yes.
yeah, smashing, like yeah, like Hawk
Like the Hulk.
smashing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So back to that movie. So there's a scene is talking about from Kevin Bacon saying there's three stages. Okay, this is coming from PVD. They mentioned in their show. So there's three stages. One is isolation. Okay, which is COVID, which is
Oh, okay.
lockdown.
Okay.
Okay, second one. Do you remember what's the second one stage?
No, no. Go ahead and let me know. What is it?
Okay, I'll jump into the third one because I don't recall the second one. But the third one
Oh,
is
okay.
Civil War. Okay, so as you can see, we are coming very close to that right now.
Okay.
And actually, it's not just happening in America. If you really pay close attention to current, Ukraine, um, the war in Middle East, and the election
And
coming
now
up
in
in
the
and
South China Sea with China and the Philippines.
and Taiwan is having an election this
Mm-hmm.
month, January, when this show is released, and
Oh,
we won't. Okay, whoever gets elected in Taiwan will change the course of the whole world. I really
and
believe
I
so
know there's a
because we.
country. There's another country on this continent called Argentina. They just had a new election a month ago
Mhm.
that changed the whole political landscape of that country from what it was
Yes,
the previous 50 years. That'd be
yes,
very interesting to see how that fits in on that puzzle.
yes. So three stages, and I believe we are currently in the second stage and moving on to the third. And
Was the
again,
second
back to
stage misinformation? Does that
oh
ring a
yeah,
bell?
yeah,
Or
yeah. Yes,
is it?
yes. You're right. You're right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
misinformation.
that's why we're all confused and not knowing what way is up. And then it
What's
changes
true?
the
What's
next.
fact? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
See. Yeah. So this is also this is a part of the matrix, part of the program. You see. And
Wow.
this movie, leaving the world behind, is kind of just sum it up to everything that they're.
I just thought of
Back,
something. There's a few scenes in that movie. There's a few scenes in that movie where they show deer, animals.
down.
Oh, you froze. Choppy.
Okay, okay, okay. What did you cut out?
Yes, they show deer. They show deer in
Yes,
the
I
movies.
have. Yes, I haven't figured out that
What's your
part yet. And also, they show
here's my
flamingos.
thought. Here's my thought. When someone's
Yeah,
confused, what
sure.
do? They just stand there and they look and they freeze and they look like a deer in the headlights. Right?
Oh, that's right. Right.
Is that can you
Yes.
see that now?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the
Yes. I
movie,
can see.
the deer sitting there just staring at each other, not moving.
What's going on, right?
Yes. So maybe the deer is the general population. They're just running, but
and
at the same time they're standing still.
and then flamingos.
Oh, the flamingos, yes.
All right. Yeah, okay. We got really during this session, so I think we're talking about something crazy. Anyway,
Okay, we can go
flamingos.
ahead and
What
continue
do you
this.
what's your thought? What do you,
And we're not even done with the movie. Are we going to continue this in the
uh-oh.
next episode, or are we going to finish it here?
we we're gonna try to finish it here.
Okay, very
So
good. Let's go ahead.
flamingos,
I
what are your
want to
thoughts
interrupt.
on them?
Go ahead.
Well, no. What's your thoughts on the flamingos?
That one I haven't given it too much thought. The only thing that would come to mind would be there's a pool behind the house and they're in the pool.
Mhm.
The only thing I can think of is flamingos being somewhere where they shouldn't be. But as you know, flamingos, when we see flamingos, they are also a stationary animal. They just stand there with one leg.
Mm,
You don't see
mm,
flamingos being very active. They're just
mm-hmm,
stationary for the most part. Anytime you see a flamingo, there's always a picture. They're just standing there.
mm. Okay,
Maybe
so
they're
you
trying to
think
reference people just not doing anything,
mm,
indecisive with the misinformation. It could be a connection like
right,
that.
right.
Maybe someone can make
Okay.
something in the comments. What are their thoughts? Right?
Yes, right.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Very good. So let's move. There's too many, so I'm just gonna bring a few more main point.
Yep.
So the next one is the currency. As we know, in our reality, there's BRIC. They are forming their own currency right now, and many countries are dumping U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. And in the movie, Kevin Bacon is saying if the government falls, cash has no meaning or there's no use of cash. Remember
Okay.
that?
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Now, you mentioned something just a minute ago. Did you say brick?
break. Yes,
Oh, what does
break.
that stand for? Because that stands for something. I forgot what it was.
Break is formed by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now there's joined by South Africa and not North Korea yet.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I do know, and I think this is one of the podcasts where iPhones are being made in India now, not China. And India and China are under BRIC, but India is not, for the lack of a better word, and it's the word that the podcast person used. India is not afraid of China, so there's something there
No,
as well. Okay.
yes,
Okay. So let's go back on.
mm,
That's another. We'll talk about that later. But okay.
yes,
So the form
India.
of currency. Once the government goes, the currency goes. The U.S. dollar, right? It'll collapse. Is that what you're saying?
y- Yes, I do see that. It's actually central bank. It's what we
Hmm.
classing clap. And
Okay.
central bank is not just involved with U.S. Is all the European countries, whatnot, right? West, we call it, and and I believe that's why they are saying there's a rumor that Biden is gonna introduce us a Fit coin, digital Fit coin, before he leaves the office. And the Fit coin, what I heard, the rumor is it's gonna be very controlling of civilization, like what you can spend, what you cannot spend. If you don't take the vaccine, you don't get any digital coins
Hmm.
to live. That's how I will call it communist act will
Yes,
become.
because that's actually happening in China right now as we speak with the WeChat.
Yes,
program.
China. Yes. Hang on one second. Let me close the window. It's crazy. Okay. So since you mentioned about China, I was asked one of this one. I was been asked this question about 6 months ago about who in our entire world. Guess which country is a truly communist country?
Hmm.
No. Okay. It's
Yeah, which
North
what
Korea
country is?
North Korea,
Ah,
Kim
North
Jong Un,
Korea.
because
More
they cut
communist than
off.
China.
Yes, they cut out outside influence inside, going in and going out both ways. And China was closed off as well, before Clinton, so they don't do business with any
Hmm.
other foreign countries, and people don't know anything outside of the wall. Okay. So, but
Right.
after Clinton, after the Mao Zedong passed, and things changed, they start opening up their market to the foreign countries
Oh,
as a capitalist China.
oh, this sounds like
Okay.
something we need to talk about later on. Let's go ahead and
Yes.
table that and go back to the currency, the movie.
So the currency, what I'm trying to say is, so they are gonna replace US dollar. US dollar
Okay.
would devaluate. Okay. And many people, just like you said, the deer analogy, they don't even
Hmm.
know. I was talking to a friend about not putting all your cash in the bank, just in case the time of emergency, everybody try to withdraw the cash, whatever they have in the bank, it won't be there,
Hmm.
because I don't know how much people know about banking system, but when you deposit $100, let's say, the bank does not keep your $100 in the bank, right?
Hmm.
They well, they supposedly reserve 10% at least, before, but I think now there's no rule for that. So meaning they
Hmm.
can take that $100 of your saving, your deposit, and take it to borrow to John Doe to buy a mortgage, to buy a home using a mortgage loan. You know
Hmm.
that?
Hmm.
So your $100 is not there. And then when you need that $100, then they
It's not going to be
took it
there.
from somewhere else to give you the withdrawal. You know.
They won't be
And
there
what
when
I'm
you need it.
Yeah, and then if the emergency comes, everybody wants to withdraw. They don't have that many cash paper to give it back, to split out back to you.
And it's so
And I
funny because in the movie, George, the character, had envelopes or envelopes of cash in a drawer. He had
yeah,
multiple envelopes.
and
So
it's
he
down like
knew
thousands.
keep cash at home, not in the
Exactly.
bank, because in that scenario, they even tried to leave the little area that they were in and they couldn't get out because of the traffic or there was no way out.
Yes. So that's
Hmm.
another sign, you see. And then when I was telling one of my friend like that, and his response is, "Oh, the bank that I bank with, I have FDIC insured." I was like,
So
okay,
would you describe him as a flamingo or a deer?
dear. I don't think
Right?
he knows what's going on, and
He's just but
you
he's
know,
active and he's running around, but he has that deer in the headlights
yeah,
look.
because when I was saying that emergency, it's just, it's United States might come down, then whatever insurance, even life insurance. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not going to be insured, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When a government collapse, everything collapse. Whatever you have is whatever you have.
And I know
whatever
in the movie
you,
the internet
yeah.
or electricity went out too, right?
Uh, you want to go to the dessert already? All right. So
Yes, let's go to the
power grid.
dessert. What happened next,
Okay,
Shelby? What happened next?
power grid got shut down. All right, so power grid got shut down. I already heard this from somewhere. I don't remember where. I heard about this before this movie, and as we know, our civilization, pretty much entire world except South Africa, are depending on technology, electricity, power, right? Gener- in our communication phone, like you mentioned last episode, we have to have a phone to communicate to get information. And if all those are shut down, just like the character in the Ethan Hawke's plays towards the end when he tried to get help from Kevin Bacon's character to have his son help, he's saying, I am useless when there's no phone, no Wi-Fi, no GPS,
Mm.
nothing. I'm powerless. I'm useless. Even see, imagine that, and how much our military is also depending on that. Think about that. You see, right?
And
So,
you just named some big movie stars who had decades of making movies in America, right?
yes. So
Wow.
funny thing is, all the actors in there. There's not many, but all the one that's big ones, like you said, many years, except the the George character, George, and then the little black girl, and then the kids,
Mhm.
two kids are the black guy is pretty new in the movie.
What do they call that in the industry? They call it a movie that has star power, right? Star power.
Yeah, I think yes, I think they want to get people's attention to watch this movie. They have to get some famous people like we
So
mentioned
could this movie be like
influencer. Did you
could
hear
this
what I just said?
say that again? Say that again.
I say, in order to get attention from people to watch this movie, to send this message out, they have to cast famous, popular movie stars as influencer.
Mm,
Okay, go
wow.
ahead. What are
So
you trying to say?
do you think this movie is a warning or a prediction of what's going to happen or what they are going to do?
Okay, so last course, last meal of today's episode, last course. Okay, personal belief, again, back to personal belief. Everyone watch a movie has different take. So majority, I'll say 95% of people will watch it as entertainment. Okay, haha, whatever, right? If
Hmm.
there's some majority will start thinking, okay, and small percentage will see what we see right now. Okay, so the last course you mentioned is warning. What is this? I believe is a warning, is a heads up, like I mentioned earlier, because even within the movie, a message movie within the movie is telling you again back to that black character. He has a client that knows what's going on, and
Ah,
the client is in the higher power elite. Okay, and he knows what's going on, and then the elite friends or client likes him. You see how it's a
okay.
it's a him likes him, and so he share everything with him. You see, that's another little tiny hint right there. But you know how I started a show about Obama's preference. Anyways, so elite people who has power, it's giving that information, giving that knowledge, and then he's running. He's telling the black character, take care of yourself. Okay, this take
Mm,
care of self. All right, and then the last scene, you
okay.
hear explosions. You hear you see the smoke coming out, right?
That's the Civil War.
That's the World War III.
Ah,
Uh, and then also, there's another sign. Remember that house they rent from supposedly Airbnb?
mm-hmm.
It's very, it represents wealth, rich, right?
Right, right. It's a nice house. Yes.
Yeah. And they are, they're not, they're kind of protected. You see what I mean? That last scene. Everybody out there is getting, I don't want to say, it's kind of sad.
Everybody, everybody in the cities were killing each other, but because they were out in the countryside or in a secluded area, they
Yeah.
were still alive and
Hmm.
surviving. And I believe in the last scene, they went to a house. I believe the name of the family was Thorns, who built
Hmm.
a bunker in their
Hmm.
basement where they could survive. I mean, they had food, electricity, own generators, everything, and they just hid
And,
there.
and movies, DVDs.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking to
So,
myself, I was asking at the end of the movie, so where were the Thorns that they knew how to build that bunker, but yet they were not there to take advantage of it. They were probably in the city.
okay. So that last scene, it can go two branches again. One
Okay.
we'll talk about next time.
Okay.
Okay. The other one is it reminds me of Titanic,
Oh, another
right?
movie. Okay.
Well, all the movies to me now, since
They're all tied together.
I see it differently, the movie is giving us a heads up, right?
So
And
it's our own fault.
has something to do with something else, which we will
Okay.
go talk about later. But the last scene, you know, poor versus rich, is just like Titanic. Whoever
Oh, that's right. That's
who
right.
can survive is based on what you got, or sometimes who you know.
Mm,
Right? It's kind of sad, but that's how the world works. So, and
okay.
that's why the black character's friend tell him, take care of yourself. Okay.
A warning. It's the warning. So this is a warning movie.
This is warning movie. And I'm just gonna say one more thing, and then we can have the audience catch us for the next episode. So in the very beginning of the movie, when they go to the beach, there's a big ship coming. Okay, there's two signs right there. One is beach, so it's telling us where it's gonna happen, how the enemy is gonna enter United States. It's through the
Mm,
beach. It can be California or Florida. My bet
wow.
is on Florida. My bet is in Florida. You want to know why?
Yes. Go ahead.
Back to that poor versus rich.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, after the COVID, the people who I follow, which is, not necessarily rich, but successful, knows what's inside out, they all moved to Florida, including PPD. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, if something happened to California, if you want to exit Florida, if with private plane, private jet, might be a way to go, right? If you're in
Yeah.
California, there's not you can only go to Mexico, right? You see what I mean? Think about
Mm,
it. Florida is the continent that you can exit America and go somewhere close by very easily and doesn't get any, but
okay.
California,
I got it.
coastline, you need to go, what, you're gonna fly to Taiwan? No, right? You're
No,
gonna
you
go
can't.
to China, no, or you go to Mexico, not really, right? So Florida is the exit out. You see,
Mm,
and then they
interesting.
might, yeah. See, that this is my own observation, my
Yeah.
own,
So
and
they're
then
already prepping themselves over there,
yeah, I really
just
think
in
it will.
case.
hmm Observation, and I believe the enemy will enter from Florida as well.
Wow.
That's why that beach
Okay.
represents. And the last but not least, the sign white on the boat. It says white lion.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
White lion. I Google it.
What is that?
it you, okay, people who's
Is
watching or
that
listening
another episode?
can Google it too. But it's basically it's also another boat back in the days when there's no America yet, and then I think it's carry a first migration of African black African person. There's no America, so black person migrate to this land. We call it America, and then the first America, first black American African America black is born in America,
Wow.
and his name is William Tucker. Yeah. So links back to our former president Obama. Link meaning, all related to Africa, black. But I don't
Okay.
know if but I don't know if this Tucker is related to Obama or not. I don't know. Very, very strange movie.
Wow.
And this is yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Okay.
All right. Are you looking into it right now?
Yes, but I'll go ahead and let the audience look into it themselves. And
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything.
All righty.
So I'll let them, as you mentioned before, let them decide, let them make up their minds.
Right. Okay. So what else do we have coming up? What we gonna
Mm,
talk about? What do we want
I'm
to talk
not
about
sure.
next?
I'm
Hmm?
not sure what's a good topic.
So we kind of dive in a little bit about Obama, like give some little here and there, you know.
And maybe perhaps some of the subscribers or guests can make a suggestion.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
If they feel so inclined.
It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of things it will sound crazy in the beginning, but down the line it will become normal, right?
Right? I mean, look
See
what
what?
happened with the pandemic. It was crazy that that happened.
Mm,
And then now
yeah,
everyone's like, oh, that's the new normal. It's like, okay. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
reading about the white lion.
hmm You wanna
Yes.
share give us some teas.
I'll
Read a
just go
couple
ahead
lines.
and mention this. The White Lion was the name of the English ship that brought the first enslaved Africans to the colony of Virginia in 1619.
hmm Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
huge.
that's connected back to
Huge.
this. I mean, it somehow connect back to Barack Obama, right?
Oh, look at what it says here, too. And if you look at the radio station in the movie, or I'm sorry, yeah, the radio station, at one point it was set to frequency 1619.
Oh, I missed that.
And that's all on the article. So
Oh,
when you read the article, it's like, oh my goodness, but when you're watching the movie, you're looking or seeing something entirely different, which
hmm
is what you were saying at the beginning. I saw these things But when you watch it, you're just gonna watch an entertainment, or you're gonna be like a flamingo just watching, right?
Yeah. So yes, I think it's a movie that we can go back and watch a few more times, and we pick up different things.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And it breaks down other scenes in the movie too. Once you Google it, it'll break down some scenes.
Yeah.
Give you something to think about, or I should say, expose the truth, like we mentioned the Matrix earlier.
Hmm.
Choose which pill you want, the red pill or the blue pill.
Yes. And everything is in our plain sight. Okay.
Okay.
So 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 hopefully everybody taking care of themselves because we don't know what's gonna happen in 2024, and I all I know is gonna be wild. And yeah, so
So
be
just
prepared.
okay.
Be prepared. Get yeah, get some generators or some sort of solar panel.
So
That's all.
wow.
That's all I can say. That's all I can
I know,
say.
and I know in the movie the character tried to use a satellite phone and it didn't work.
Uh, you got cut off again. Interrupt.
Oh,
Oh,
he
see.
tried to use a satellite phone and it didn't work.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's outer space. So there's a lot of other
Satellite,
things we can talk about. Outer
satellite.
space, if we tie into presidential, we're gonna talk about moon landing, JFK. Oh, alrighty.
Alrighty.